Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be summing up Hampton's season, how it's gone. Been a very long season, dust is settled in it now, about a month has gone past. Also going to be giving out a few awards, various awards, so let's get straight into it. Just before I do get into the actual video though, I just want to apologise for the week without any videos, as I forgot to actually mention it myself in person, but I did actually put it in text at the end of the last video. I didn't mention I was going away, and I did ask on Twitter whether there was you wanted to see a travel vlog of that, and most people voted that didn't want to do it, and I wasn't very overly confident, not confident, but I wasn't really overly that worried about doing it anyway. So apologies for the break without any videos, but we're back now. I'm glad to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, let's get straight into the video. So it's been a long, arduous season, a long, tough, challenging season, very different compared to previous season we've had down at Beverley. Obviously with a new manager coming in, Gary McCann, completely brand new squad overhaul because everyone left, either to Woking, moved on to different clubs. If you went on to Wealdstone, I believe a few dropped down a few levels, a few players returned from their loans, and I think went to Torquay as well. Various clubs came in for our players, they all went on to new different career paths. Brand new squad, and it's what meant we had no players from that, I believe, from the first game of the season against Sal, where every player that was in that starting 11 squad was brand new, no one was left over. And yeah, it proved to be, and that meant it was going to be a big challenge on our hands. Many of our fans, if you'd asked them, would have taken survival if you asked us that before the season began. And that was pretty much what I was going for as well. That was pretty much the aim, just to survive and go again next season and see if you can challenge again, just stay competitive. As long as you can stay out, that's the main thing. However, we did actually get off to a pretty decent start. We got 7 points from our first 5 games, which compared to some of the other sides in the division was magnificent. Compared to what expectations had, was very brilliant. It included an unbelievable 2-0 away victory at Torquay, which was just astounding. We couldn't believe it when I saw it. It was just magnificent. That was certainly one of the games of the season for me. Going away to Torquay, my biggest side in the league, former League 2 side, getting 3 points, absolutely stunning them. It must have been a big wake-up call for them as well, for them welcome to National League South as well. But for us, it was a massive win, and it was a great start for this season, which many have thought would be a big one struggling. We then went on to win 4 games in a row. Brilliant carrying on. Looked like we were on top form, and we actually went up to 3rd in the league, which is absolutely unbelievable considering what the expectations that we had before the start of the season, like I said. But the big turning point for this season for me has to be the Billericay game at home. We lost 2-0. We were completely outclassed because they were by far the better team. They had a lot of money, a lot of good players, and they wiped the floor with us, and it could have been more. They didn't let us play our game properly, and it could have been more, like I said, and they were just too good for us, and that was a big turning point for me, that game, because week after that we went away to Wealdstone, which was a bit of a grudge match, and we actually lost 2-1, and that spiraled into a pretty dire run of form. 2 losses against Hungerford and Oxford City in between a draw against Eastbourne saw us drop down the table drastically, and it was only because of a magnificent FA Cup run which saw us play Oldham at home on the telly, which sort of made up for it and sort of kept us afloat and kept the fans' positivity. Just touching on that Oldham game, was unbelievable. One of the best games of the season. It's probably the game of the season, even though we lost 2-1. Gutting fashion in the last minute. We took the lead in front of the BT Sport cameras. It was unbelievable atmosphere as well. Packed out crowd as well. Fans were really up for it. Oldham, to their credit, came decent numbers, 300 or so on a Monday night, which is alright, I suppose. And yeah, they came in their numbers. Magnificent night for us. One of the biggest games, probably the biggest game in the club's history. Gutting to lose it so late on, 2 goals late on conceded, but nonetheless an amazing night it was. The FA Cup won. Good performance in the FA Cup though, couldn't be continued in the league form as he continued to suffer poor results, going down, getting thrashed 4-0 away at Concord Rangers, which was a dire performance again, only because of a narrow 1-0 win over East Suffolk was what kept us on positivity as well, but still the performances weren't exactly looking great. A shocking Christmas period, over losing twice to Woking, including a pretty dire performance at home where no one really played that well. It was a real poor performance, one of the worst performances of the season for me, that Woking game at home, and it's not just because Woking were a great start and finished 2nd in the league. We were pretty poor overall. If you ask anyone there, it was a pretty poor performance, and it should have put more effort in, and it just wasn't great. However, just in the mid of the turn of the year, midway through 2019, a 2-0 win at home against Dulwich and a 1-0 draw away at Hemel looked to have turned things around for us this season, and looked like we would be going to be looking more positive going into 2019, hopefully looking to finish the season strongly. However, home defeats at St Albans and Gloucester and poor performances at home against Slough put us right back in the relegation mix, and it was going to be a real tough end to the season for us. Our home form was a real concern at this point. I mean, we were not playing very well at all at home. Couldn't win for love nor money. Since that 2-0 win against Dulwich, we couldn't win any. St Albans, Gloucester, like I said, we lost. Draw against Eastbourne, which was an absolutely atrocious game, one of the worst I've seen. Even challenges the Champions League final. But anyway, away game against Oxford City was the turning point for us, which sort of gave us a little more freedom, a little more comfort. 5-3 away victory sort of gave us a bit more comfortability with our little relegation battle we were going into. Our away form did start to improve after that, and this was a great start to hoping to push that up and get away from the relegation zone. That away victory at Oxford. We then had a 2-2 draw at Dartford. Looked to be another great result as the team that were going for the playoffs. We looked to have got a point for them, and it was only later on that they equalised, which in the end felt like a loss for us. Even though we played brilliantly, fully deserved to get a win, but unlucky to concede at the end. And that seemed like a good result for us, and looked like we were just about to hit that right form at the right time of the season. However, the big wake-up call came at home to Hungerford Town. We were thumped 3-0. We were atrocious this game. We were absolutely abysmal, and it was a big wake-up call. And this is the game that really came, like, fans started to realise that we are actually in a relegation battle, and we could get relegated if we do not start performing. And this was a massive wake-up call. However, as you're about to hear, I'm actually about to see, it did start to improve after this. And a magnificent away victory at Billericay, had a brilliant performance at home to Willstone 2-1, all but confirmed our safety after teams below us dropped points. And in the end, it was really comfortable in the end where we finished. Brilliant end to the season. 2-2 draw with Truro as well at home. The way we ended the last game of the season away at Welling 4-0, which was a bit disappointing to say. Disappointing way to end the season, even though the scorer did flatten them a bit. It was disappointing the way that ended, but nonetheless, we can be happy with how we stayed up, as that's what most fans would have wanted at the start of the season. To conclude, it has been a good season in the end for us, even though it's been up and down, challenging, very different, as I said, compared, because we've been in the playoffs the last 3 seasons, I believe. In the end, happy with how it's gone. Hopefully, I like to think we can kick on next season, but obviously, as you know, the budget situation is going to make things very difficult for us. We actually haven't announced a signing yet, which is obvious. It's going to be a very tough challenge season. I hope Gary can do all the best he can. I wish him all the luck, and I wish he can do all the best he can. Hope for the season. Hopefully we can stay competitive and just hope for the best ahead of the next season. I'm now going to move on to my awards. My own awards I'm going to go for this past season, and to start off with, I'm going to go for the player of the season. And my award for player of the season goes to Craig Dundas.
Is Craig Dundas bursting into the area? Craig Dundas crops off! What a goal! That was a beautiful...
Although he only scored 4 goals for us this season, which may think, oh, that's not the best, but he always put in the shift, always put in 100%. He was brilliant. Whenever I saw him, he always never gave up, and didn't show that. He always had a positive attitude, and even though he only scored 4 goals, which were good goals in the end, and could have been crucial goals, he could have scored more as well. But like I said, Craig Dundas is my player of the season. He was always putting in the shift, always putting a lot of effort, showed heart, and unfortunately he has left the club. I believe he's going to be going back to Sutton to go focus on the coaching role there, so I wish him all the best, and I thank him for his efforts from the last season at Hampton. And yeah, Craig Dundas, my player of the season. Next I'm going to move on to my match of the season, and for me it's going to be the Willstone game, which we won 2-1 at home, which all but confirmed our safety. So we turned it on, the performance came at the right time when we needed it, because we were in a relegation battle, and the performance was brilliant. Everyone played well. I couldn't fault anyone, because everyone was amazing, and we got the points that we needed that all but confirmed our safety as well. It was a brilliant performance, and it was close, tight choosing between the Oldham game, but I decided to choose a league game just to show it was unfair, because I think it would be unfair if I conclude the FA Cup games, because the Eastleigh performance game was brilliant as well. But going for the league game, I'm going to go for like I said, Willstone game at home. Brilliant performance all round, which all but secured our safety. Finally, I'm going to go for my goal of the season, and he did score some pretty decent goals, but for me, the best one of that of the lot was Matty Whittelow's goal away at Chippenham back in December.
Fight to go, Joe! Come on! Come on, Spider!
Even though it was a game in which we lost 3-2, Matty Whittelow's goal was absolutely sublime. He picked it up from just inside his own half, smacked it on the volley first time, and it went over the keeper and into the net. It was absolutely sublime. I'll probably put the clip in here, but I'll leave it in the description as well, along with any other games, any other things I mentioned relevant early on in the season. I'll leave them all in the description below. That was an absolutely sublime goal from Matty Whittelow, and it rightfully went into my goal of the season. That's it for the awards. If you want to know any other awards that you want my opinion on, I'll leave a comment down below and I'll answer it with my award and my opinion on it. So if you have any other opinion on that, leave that down below. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Once again, apologies for there being no video last week, as obviously I was away. Let me know what other videos you want to see down below. Obviously, I'm trying to get that National League South review video still sorted out. I'm just trying to finalise, get the last few people involved. I'll hopefully be getting that very soon. If you do want to get involved with it, comment down below or message me on Twitter, which is in the description below. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Any other videos you want to see from me, leave them down below and I'll do what I can with it. Hope you really enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications on, and I'll see you for my next video very soon.